Okay, so here's my one-liner here. I never buy pre-shredded cheese because doing it yourself is great. G-R-A-T-E.
Shut up.
Just
You didn't like that one.
No.
Oh,
hey,
No.
not Joe cheese.
there you go. Yeah. So, welcome back, Weekenders, and thanks for tuning in for another episode of The Weekend from A to Z. This is episode number 110, and it covers the weekend up to August the 10th, 2020. So, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to email us at theweekenda2z@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facegram and Instabook at A to Z Weekend. Past that, you can go to anchor.fm/A to Z Weekend along with YouTube. You'll find on anchor.fm, you'll find all 11 locations for our podcasts. So you can tell your friends.
Hoo-hoo.
All three of them.
What's up, guys?
One, two,
I'm
three.
Justin.
I'm Alan.
JT.
Scott.
J Tizzle for Rizzle.
Yeah.
JT Money.
No.
No.
Whatever.
That guy was a terrible wrestler.
So I do have some tech news we can get started with.
Pick this up.
Yeah, so Tesla is involved in the development of a smartwatch. I don't know why.
Okay. Because it's Elon Musk and they can do that shit.
Yeah. Also, the name is confirmed on the lower-end next-gen Xbox console via new controller packaging. So the lower-end Xbox console will be called officially the Xbox Series S, with the higher end being the Xbox Series X.
All
and
I
it's
can
going to
say,
be digital only, right? No disc or whatever.
The Xbox Series X will have a disc. Will have
Yeah.
a disc drive. I don't know about the Series S. Microsoft has talked about doing like a diskless system, so it's all digital downloads, but we have yet to actually see it pan out. So we'll see.
Sony was so smart when they just decided to, with their consoles, to just enumerate them one by one.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it started out with the Xbox, then it was the Xbox 360, and then it went to the
Xbox
Xbox
360, then the Xbox One, and now the Xbox One X.
Uh-huh. And then it's going to be
I guess technically the Xbox One X and the Xbox One are akin to the Xbox Series S and the Series X.
Yeah, you know what PlayStation coming out with?
5.
PlayStation 5.
Well, PlayStation also had the 4, and then they had the 5 and the 5 Pro, or 4 Pro. That's what.
No, well, here's the thing. But they didn't. They still just did an enumeration. It's not.
Yeah, at least you'll know which one is the successor.
Yeah.
I got you.
Because it's still 4 and 4 Pro, just like you have. I mean, they kind of took it. Well,
It's
they did
Xbox
it before Apple, but it was
Xbox One and One X. Yeah.
Yeah, they did it before Apple, but just like Apple, you have what phone do you have? I have the iPhone 10, or I have the iPhone 11, or whatever.
12X Max Pro.
Yeah.
Or 11X Pro.
Or the XS Max.
Super size.
Something. Yeah, super size, exactly.
Uh-huh.
Apple Watch public beta is available for Watch OS 7. For users to download Watch OS 7, it includes the new sleep tracking.
The 5 still hasn't been released yet, correct?
Correct.
Hey, that
can't.
sleep tracking, you have to keep the
No,
watch
wait,
on all
no.
night.
The 5 is released. The 6 is
Yeah,
not released.
Okay,
That's correct.
gotcha.
But you have
You
to keep the watch on all
watch
night,
on.
which doesn't make sense to me because when do you charge it?
So it actually does a notification to tell you, hey, you're going to need to charge your watch before you go to sleep.
Okay. And then when you're in the shower in the morning, you put the watch back on the charger?
That's what I do.
Gotcha.
Get up in the morning, put the watch on the charger, shower, get dressed, take the watch off the charger. It's usually, if it's down in the red, it usually gets up to 70%, 70, 80, and that gets me every day.
I just like watches that tell time.
Yeah.
That's all I need it to do. I don't need it to. I don't need to have any more notifications. Or I don't need to do any of that kind of
tip.
stuff. Nope, no need.
Just the tip?
All I need to do is take time. If you can't get to 20% on your own with basic math,
yeah,
then just double the tax.
Yeah, double the tax. Or
is that actually 20% though?
No,
Usually.
I mean tax is 8.25, so you just double it to your 16
exactly.
and you
It's
just add
not
a little more.
okay.
I'm just
Add
saying
a little more.
it's a quick. Which,
Yeah.
hey, how about this? Because I was reading an article. So a lot of places have been adding gratuity, 15% on these to-go orders and so. How do y'all feel about that?
I won't tip. Yeah, you get more out of me without putting that on there. Just to be honest.
Yeah, you'll get more out of me without putting that on.
I mean,
if I'm ordering something,
when,
if I'm ordering something to go, there better not be gratuity on it.
yeah, that's the debate. Is
Right.
it?
Oh yeah, that too.
Do you need to tip when it's just to go, or
I
what?
tip the driver if I'm doing
I tip the
Grubhub or
driver.
whatever. I tip the
Yeah.
driver.
I'll tip the driver.
Okay, but if you're picking it up to go,
Nope.
No.
Generally, no.
It
It depends. I think it depends on the order.
like during
So,
this
like-
COVID time, a lot of people have been doing it. Like they've been putting gratuity on there because their servers need help or whatever. But I'm kind of like thinking, I don't know, man. I mean, that's almost
where have you seen this personally?
yeah, on a couple
So-
of places.
Okay, so the times I've ordered has been through like Grubhub or Postmates or Uber Eats or something.
Mm-hmm.
There has not been gratuity on there, so I tip the driver because it also says 100% of the tips go to the driver. So at that point, it's like, well, they're driving out to my place. I'm gonna go ahead and
90% of the time I'm doing pickup.
okay.
No, if you're here, the only reason I would be okay with that is because a lot of like the kitchen staff and the guys that work food prep like expo and stuff like that get the stuff ready for the plate and all that kind of junk, they usually get a tip out at the end of the night where everybody, all of the
Tip
servers
sharing.
will
Yeah.
they tip share with the expo and the bartender and the whatever. I'm okay with it in that regard because they're if they're working and they're not getting what they normally would have gotten, that's hard.
Yep.
So
No, I agree. That I didn't think about that.
that's the only reason that I'm kind of okay with it. You know what I mean? And usually for us, I mean, if we're ordering from a place, there's 3 of us, so like a typical Grubhub order is going to be between like $35-$40.
What are you ordering from Grubhub that's only that much?
One
Every time we've ordered from Grubhub anytime we've ordered for all 3 of us, it's been at least $40 to $60 with delivery and everything.
Yeah, no, I'm talking without delivery.
Oh, okay.
Once you start putting the delivery stuff on there,
Yeah.
I'm talking about just food.
Gotcha.
Just food for us is going to be, between like $35 and $45, and then plus on top of that, whatever the food cost is. But no, I'm not worried. I'd rather those people get the money that they would have been making. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you've ever worked in the service industry like that, your view changes on stuff real fast.
I'm a firm believer that you should not be allowed to go out to eat unless you've waited tables.
Yeah. I did a very small stint of waiting tables, and I tended bar and done all that kind of stuff. But it's like, no. I hate the tipping culture in general.
Yep.
The fact that it's not the fact that you get to tip for good service. I think that's wonderful, but the fact that the industry itself pays its servers so little.
Yeah.
And they literally have to live off of tips, and that's the thing that sucks.
I mean, like no other cultures tip. It's just here.
Yeah, or if you tip, it's rare, and it's because you got like extremely above and beyond service.
Yeah, in Europe, they don't do it.
Yeah, when I was in Finland
I
a
thought
couple
Europe
of years
does
ago,
tip.
just
Where?
not even the tip.
Oh.
Not even the tip.
I was in Finland, and the lady, when we tipped, she was like, "Whoa, you don't need to do that." I'm like, "I don't know."
Because I did it a couple times out of habit, and
We're
like they were
from
offended.
America. This is what we do.
Yeah.
This is what we do. My Speedo.
But like the other thing on the other side of tipping is when you have a large group and they force gratuity on there. To me, that's almost like oh, maybe they won't work hard because they're going to get a higher tip automatically kind of deal.
I think that I think that you have people that are going to work hard regardless. Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean? And
Yeah, I
maybe they're
would
going to
like
work
that.
hard to get, and maybe they're going to work hard to get extra money. But I think the reason that I think the reason that they do that is because there are so many people out there, and I know I have my buddy Joe who owns a restaurant. It's the worst crowd is the worst crowd is the after church crowd because they don't tip for nothing.
Nope.
And it's one of
Most of it goes to Jesus.
but it's one of those things like they don't like they've had servers who
tip.
have like no they have servers who have like shown like have had receipts and the receipts are like sorry we don't tip but God bless you and stuff like that and it's like what? And
I've
these are
never
like, and
seen
these are
that.
these are big tables, and that's why he started with his restaurant. If you have a party larger than 6 in his restaurant, gratuity gets added on
Yeah.
for parties of 6 or more.
Watch them come in and go, well, it's us 3 and then them 3 over there, so we're not with them.
No, it's a table.
Oh.
It is your table. If that table is holding more than 6 people, you're going to do that. And of course, he makes exceptions. If it's like there's 4 adults and they have 2 kids or whatever, he's not. They usually don't do that kind of stuff. Just
you're
that's
being
ridiculous.
served. Somebody's doing work for you. You should pay for it.
Yeah. So my last couple things here. TikTok threatens legal challenge to Trump's latest executive order, which was banning transactions between Tencent and TikTok owner ByteDance. I don't pay attention to TikTok. I found it in there, and I figured somebody might want to know that stuff.
My wife is cracking out on TikTok now.
Well, I heard Instagram's trying to get in the running to buy TikTok now.
Microsoft is supposed to be the latest one that was supposed to be buying TikTok, but
but Microsoft has had issues with antitrust, so I'm 50-50 on if that'll go through.
Instagram also has. They're owned by Facebook.
Yeah, but Instagram is trying to.
Careful. These are people that we put up our podcast information on. We tell listeners every time, twice an episode, at the top and at the bottom, go to our Instagram and our Facebooks and stuff. So we love you, Instagram and Facebook. These opinions are their own and do not represent the company as a whole.
Whatever happened to that? Speaking of kind of TikTok-y, that stupid dance. And then you see the guy with the horse head and the dance.
What?
Was that like last
Vine?
year? No, maybe it was on Vine, but it was like that. It's going down for real, and then you would see like people just randomly dancing, and there was a guy with a horse head mask.
No idea.
What are you referring to? I don't know what you're talking about.
It sounds
I
like
know what you're talking about, but
I got you, JT. I know what you're talking about.
I know what you're talking
about.
But
I was just saying, what happened to that? That just kind of fizzed out.
They all fizz out.
Yeah, it's a fad.
They all fizz out.
It's like the air horn and like the whatever that other thing. It just fades out.
No, there's like the Harlem Shake did. And,
Harlem Shake. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
No, there's stuff like that now that just it happens and it'll trend for like a day or two, like on TikTok and stuff like that. Like it'll be there are just different challenges that they do. Well, it's like, if you play this song, it'll make your mom dance, and it's one of those things where kids they'll start playing the song from their phone, and it's like an old school song, and so mom's making dinner or whatever, and all of a sudden she just kind of starts bopping. But they come and go like within a couple of days.
Yeah,
they're always on to the next thing, always on to the next thing.
So YouTube will end email notifications for new videos on August the 13th.
Yes, finally, thank you.
You'll only receive notifications through the desktop site and mobile apps for things that you're subscribed to.
Really?
Yep. So right now I get notification. I'll get an email like, "Hey, your mom's house just uploaded a new episode."
Yeah, I get them too.
So for those I like, and then but I actually generally for the ones that I subscribe to, I like the emails that I get because it's like, oh yeah, they do have a new episode. I mean, granted, I've gotten to the point now to where it's like, okay, well, Monday, 2 Bears, 1 Cave comes out. Wednesday is the new episode of Your Mom's House. Every day, daily during the week, Monday through Friday is Philip DeFranco.
Mm-hmm.
The other ones, like my WRX channel and Media, also beta built. Those are kind of like randomly uploaded. So those I appreciate the uploads for. But the other ones I can already have on a schedule, so I don't need updates on them. But
I could do with less email in my email box.
less email, yeah.
Oh, see, all of that stuff just automatically filters into the social folder within my inbox, and I'll look at it, like I literally skim through it, and then I just delete everything, just like I do the same thing with all the promotions stuff. I love good job Gmail on how they do that stuff, because that's amazing. I love the fact that like all of this crappy promotion stuff, I don't have to put it to,
it's filtered. Yeah,
it automatically gets filtered, and I can kind of go through and look at what I want. You know, I'll skim through it if something catches my eye.
Check, delete.
Yeah,
Maybe switching over to Gmail pretty soon.
What do you use now?
AOL.
Scott, I was gonna say, dude, you gotta be kidding
I'm just
me.
kidding. I use MSN. No, Yahoo.
What do you use?
Actually,
Yahoo?
Yahoo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is Yahoo still a thing?
Hmm?
The only thing that I've used Yahoo for in the last 10 years has been fantasy sports.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I've used Yahoo for.
Yep.
Yeah, same here.
I can't think of anything else that I use it for.
Yeah.
I don't understand the people who change their emails. I don't know why.
It's like phone numbers.
Help me out. Yeah, I mean, I keep old. Seriously, I think I've had the SBC Global one for 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually part of.
I think I still
Gmail.
have a Hotmail address somewhere.
I was part of the Gmail
I still
beta.
use Hotmail.
Back when you had to get an invitation by someone who was already using Gmail to get a Gmail account.
Ooh,
Agreed, me too.
Yeah, I still have that email address too.
Same thing for Facebook. When I was in college, I got the
you had
invitation.
to you had to go to a specific set of colleges in order to get Facebook. But yeah. My last bit of news here has to do with Hulu. They will stream the Blackish episode entitled Please Baby Please that Disney controversially shelved back in 2018.
Why is it controversial? Sorry.
Because it tackled racism, the Charlottesville protest, and kneeling in the NFL. It is unclear if Disney will release it on ABC because, according to Variety magazine, they said, or I think it was Variety.com. Either way, they said related to the comments that characters made about President Donald Trump and not so much the football storyline. But Hulu's going to air it.
My favorite Blackish is the one where they cover Prince.
I haven't watched any of it, to be honest.
I've never
I've
seen an episode.
I've caught bits and pieces of episodes, but never sat and watched an entire episode.
Well, it's also because it's on like
ABC.
regular kind of like terrestrial TV, and
I don't watch it.
haven't watched terrestrial television in a long time. See,
I don't have cable.
Yeah, that's smart. Smart.
SMRT. Wait.
no, I need to get rid. It's what I gotta. We need to get rid of our cable.
It's
I don't
crazy
know why
expensive.
I keep it. Yeah, but it's one of those things that I was raised by TV. You know, I was a latchkey kid that was raised by TV.
My
So it was one of
babysitter.
those things where it's like, it's my comfort zone just to have, like, literally I'm sitting here on my laptop talking to you guys, and the TV is right over there playing, what is that? WWE is starting.
Ren and Stimpy.
No, WWE, man. Yeah,
Ren and
Ren and
Stimpy's
Stimpy's
making a
awesome.
comeback.
Are they?
Jim.
Yep. So
I'm cool with
is
that.
Animaniacs.
I love me some Animaniacs.
I'm
like Animaniacs.
concerned about what they'll do to it.
Yeah.
Because it
I
was
think a lot of the
great.
stuff that they had before they can't do now.
Well, no, because they had a lot of like. No, Animaniacs.
Is it
was
okay
pretty
because it's in
tame.
cartoon form?
No.
Well, everything's okay because it's in cartoon form. Watch Family Guy.
Well, that's
Yeah,
like the Looney Tunes. Like
Or, South
Justin,
Park.
we talked about this before,
South
where
Park.
like they don't show guns anymore. You know, like Elmer Fudd doesn't carry a gun anymore. Pussy.
Yeah, well, but again, that's only for the new stuff they've gone through and done.
Easy, JT. What did he do to you?
Be baby, quiet.
Yeah.
We're hunting rabbits.
So that's all I got for tech news. Scott, do you have anything for Formula?
Yes, man. So they raced again at Silverstone this weekend. Trying to double up on a couple of sites because they can't come over here. So another round of Silverstone. Max Verstappen, Redbull Team, took first place. I don't know where he snuck in to first, but passed Lewis Hamilton and Bottas for the win. Wow, that was. I'm not sure. I guess I need to know what to watch in some of those races because this one to me wasn't very exciting. I'm trying to learn the sport as well. So wasn't crazy exciting like it was last week. Like everybody was losing tires last week. This week it was pretty straightforward and not a whole lot of passing. What I did find what I found out and learned that they have a 40-gallon gas tank and they do not fill up gas. Because that was one of the things I was watching the pit stops in sub 2 seconds. Pit stops, sub 2 seconds, 4 tires, you're gone. And I was waiting for them to, hey, when are they gonna put gas in, and how do you put gas in sub 2 seconds? But yeah, no, that's a 40-gallon tank, and that's it.
How long are their races?
1 hour and 19 minutes. Max took that in 1 hour 19 seconds. 1 hour 19 minutes
on that.
Man, I'll have to check that out next time.
But the reason I ask is because, like, comparing it to like NASCAR's an endurance race. It's like a marathon, because it's how long it is. So that's the thing where that's why I'm curious. Yes, I know that NASCAR is go fast, turn left. I understand that, but it's also like they're doing it at 200 miles an hour for like 3 hours solid. They're just, beating their brains out. So I'm just curious as to how long the races are.
If you could do quick math, it's a 3-mile track, and they're going anywhere from 182 to I think 225, depending on turns and stuff like that. So I'm not sure what.
How many laps did they do? That would be what it is.
50,
so if
50,
it's
52. So yeah, there's the quick math. 52 laps at 3 miles. Yeah.
150 miles.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a little bit shorter.
Did y'all see my my math question on Facebook today?
Yes.
Get it?
No, what was your math question?
Let me pull it up real quick.
Okay.
While he's
While you're
looking
pulling
that
up, question
go ahead.
for
Answer.
Scott. No,
gotcha.
I mean, I posted it. But.
So a modern F1 car accelerates 62 miles an hour in less than 2 seconds, and it pulls enough G's more than the space shuttle does. So I didn't say how many G's it pulls, but yeah, 200 miles an hour at qualifying. The spec that we were looking at was the chassis, 1,548 pounds, and this is including the driver and tires, but not the fuel.
What's the average height of a F1 driver?
Man, they are short little guys.
Yes.
I'll mark that question down. That's a good one. We'll look it up.
Yeah, no,
Also,
average
what
height, they're
horsepower?
probably between 5'4" and 5'6" is my guess.
Damn, I could be an Indy racer.
Yeah, you can.
Good. Probably drop some
You gotta
LBs,
trim it. Yeah.
some kilos, or stone. Alan, you asked how much horsepower?
Yeah, how much
Yes.
horsepower? Dang it! You asked that last week, didn't you?
Because you said
Yeah.
it was a V6, wasn't it?
Yes, a V6.
Yeah.
And horsepower. Give me a second. Ask me another question while it's pulling up because I have this this on here.
My hands are
750
shaking right now.
horsepower.
1,500 pounds, 750 horses.
Are they all
Yeah.
like capped at 750 somewhere around there? I'm assuming so, since they all have to have the same motor regulation.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would assume
Yeah,
so too.
I
did
mean,
not look
it's
up.
like it's kind of like NASCAR, where it's like, everyone's got the same. So it's a test of driver skills versus the vehicle.
Mhm.
A lot of this is vehicle driven too. They have a lot of rules and stipulations on technology and stuff. I think most of y'all know that as what goes in the tech in these cars will come out and see us in a couple of years later. But no, there's one instance of Racing Points. It's a team, Racing Points. It's Nico Hulkenberg. racing points. That is, they're having they lost some points in the race this week, or in the overall standings, because they have their front brake vents. I'm not technically savvy here, but they bought the rights from Mercedes, but didn't use them last year. So they couldn't use them this year because of whatever rules and regulations. The back vents they used last year, so those it's crazy. I'll get the story and put that together. It's an interesting story. Maybe send some.
Well, it's like when their pre-race season this year, that one dude, can't remember his name, but he was using this new technology where he would push the steering wheel, and then it would create tow on the wheels. And it said it was better, obviously on straights or whatnot. And then when he would turn, and he would pull the wheel and it fix the camber again, so it would maneuver better during certain situations. Like, oh, it's interesting, but it's not allowed in F1 yet. So, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, who would have thought that, right? Oh, I need better handling. Let's just change it real quick.
Well, have you seen the steering wheels? They're crazy. All kinds of buttons, displays.
Yeah, like 100 buttons on there.
Yeah, I don't know how they keep up with that, but yeah, I actually got to watch it. Well, we go over weekends. I'll talk more about that. But yeah, it was a pretty cool race. But I don't know. I didn't know what to look for. Kind of not a lot of race. I didn't think a lot of racing, a lot of wrecks or anything like that. So yeah, that was it.
Well, if you guys want to, we can get into weekends now.
Yeah,
let's do it.
I'll text y'all the brain teaser because you'll have to probably see it in writing.
Sure. All right, I'll start with my weekend. We did nothing. Go on, COVID. Keep doing it. I went on Friday night. I went over to my sister's house. We're continuing to do our walk. She was super stressed out because they're going back to school. And today was her first day going back into work for teachers' first day, teachers coming back early, so on and so forth. She told me that she got a call from her principal, because my sister's been very vocal about not wanting to go back or not feeling that it's the right thing to do, that they're making a bad choice. Her principal called her and chastised her, basically, because she is one of the few who is, like the principal will go around and talk to people, and again, this is like your boss talking to you. Unless you have an open, good relationship with your boss, how many times do you give them an honest opinion of something without sugarcoating it? That's just
not often.
Yeah, that's not something that happens. Well, my sister's been there long enough, and she's been a teacher for over 20 years, and so she's like, I don't feel safe coming back. I don't feel that the district has its teachers' best interest in hand. I feel, so on and so forth. She's gone to school board meetings, or they're all on Zoom now, but she spoke at school board meetings saying the same thing.
Yeah, how come they feel safe doing Zoom meetings, but they won't do meetings in person?
Exactly. Well, that's a good thing. If your school board or people in administration are not meeting in person, but they're going to require your kids to go back to school, or not necessarily require, but they're requiring teachers to be on premises to teach kids. It's it just doesn't make a lot of sense. So I just tried to talk to her and calm her down.
Quick note on that. Sorry, my sister is also an educator, and she was saying she's in the Briscoe ISD. So, remember I was complaining to you guys about when work from home started, and I'd see people posting like pictures by the pool, or they're on some nature trail, or their sidewalk art, and so some of the parents got upset, because I guess they would see some of the teachers post that stuff, and so everyone, at least at my sister's school, the staff has to be at school, even if the students aren't coming in. So it's kind of like, well, I guess the teachers kind of shot themselves in the foot, right? Like posting stuff like that. And then, I mean, I don't know if I sent y'all the article, but in Frisco, they one of the high schools got
Oh, we lost him.
That's COVID.
He froze. Oh, there you go.
You gotta start over again, JT. He's gone again. Oh no! What do we do? Anyway, we'll let him continue his story when hey, you back? Is he back? You guys, listeners, are just gonna have to listen to me because both Alan and Scott are stuffing their faces. If you're watching the YouTube video, you can see them eating, and I appreciate the
I have
fact
an
that they
infant here
have.
too. That he's very excited.
You back, JT?
I like pizza.
I don't know. Anyway, so I was so when JT gets back, we'll let him speak in. But no, she was super worried and upset about going back to school. And it's gotten to the point now where as I'm talking to her, I've just said, hey, if it's time for you to step out of the teaching game after 20 some odd years, like, let me know. I know recruiters. I'll talk to recruiters and have them, we'll look at your resume. And, was kind of talking to her about like the skills that she has. I mean, she's run a department for the majority of her career as a teacher, like not just been a teacher, but run a department, which means that she has budgets. She has all of these things. She's had to teach in very difficult conditions. As a theater teacher, you run different shows, so there's a completely different order of management style. I was like, you, on paper, you're freaking amazing. Like, people would have like a corporate trainer or something like that. Like, you already have the skills, and what you don't know, you can pick up real easy. So I don't know if she will do that. I hope she does, just to look and see what's out there. Just because I saw a lot of teachers, kind of like JT was saying, like parents getting upset because people were the way that they were working from home or whatever. And it's like,
mind your own business.
Well, and it's
they think that teachers aren't working, essentially is what it is. And they're like, well, what are we paying you for, to stay home?
Well, and it's one of those things, like at the end of last year, it was a really weird situation. We've talked about it before. Like, nobody was prepared for that. Kids went to spring break. Teachers and kids went to spring break. And that spring break was extended by an additional 2 weeks. And then they were told they're not going back in. So it's not a thing where it's like you can go, oh, yeah, this is totally, yeah, they had, everybody was prepared for it. Nobody was prepared for this shit.
We're still not prepared.
Yeah,
no.
That's very evident with Frisco schools.
You can't. It's hard time to hear you, buddy.
Microphone.
Oh, yeah. Put up near the mouth.
Cool. There you go.
Sorry, it was technical support here. Thanks.
It's all good.
Yeah, so Frisco, I'm still a little disappointed in them as well. My son doesn't pick up his computer until the day before classes, and I really feel like I don't understand why it's so hard to put like we need to have a Skype meeting for everybody. If you want to know how this school year is going to go, kind of give us a rundown of how this how it's going to look.
I have mine with my son's school tomorrow.
Oh, do you? We don't have one, unless we're just totally missing something out of the 73 emails, which I hate. That's just too much information to chow down. I've got enough emails going on. But yeah, I don't know. Hope they do something.
Have you guys decided? Is he going into person, or is he gonna stay online? Is he just gonna do online? What have you guys decided?
Well, he's gonna do online. He wants to do online. We're gonna have to, kind of rein him in a little bit. I think the end of last year, he was up until 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, sleeping, waking up, and then doing all of his week's work in an hour, and then going and doing whatever he wanted to do for the rest of the week. And we're going to have to we're going to manage that a little bit better. Again, who knew how it works? So, but he is not going back in, but he needs a PE class. So PE is at 4th period. Okay, so I'm just going to mention this too. He was going to play football, and if he did, we would have to take him to school in the morning,
Mhm.
then pick him up because we're not allowed to stay on site. Pick him up, have him do his classes online, and then take him back for the football period at the last period of the day. And
Mhm.
I'm having a hard time understanding why because they don't supply rides. It's the parents that have to shuttle the kids.
Mhm.
So why don't you put football in the morning and then move that fourth period class up against his current football to where when you pick him up, you don't have to take him back the rest of the day. I don't think that's a hard decision to make. And if you're not going to supply rides to the kids, why is that like that? I just don't know. But anyway, he's not going to play football because he doesn't want to wake up at 4:30 in the morning to get there at 5. It's insane on my part. Wouldn't want to push him to do that either.
2 a
No,
days. Well, those are
that's
the worst.
well, no. I mean, that's fair enough. If you don't have to be up at 4:30 in the morning, and you don't want to be up at 4:30 in the morning, there's no need to do that crap.
No.
Yeah.
It's I mean, that's the thing. Well, one of the things that I think that TEA is doing, and I don't know if it's TEA or if it's district by district, but they were allowing kids to go to school for electives.
Mhm.
So it's like you can do all of your core classes online, but if you're in band or in choir or whatever, then you can go, if you want to, you can go to the school. And it's like, what's the point of that? If the point was to keep people away from each other, and you're still letting the students go up there for their electives, aren't we kind of missing the point? Frisco already has teachers that are sick. That school in Georgia that was in the news last week for the pictures that were taken. For the listeners, if you don't know, there was a school in Georgia, and turns out that a student snapped some pictures on her cell phone in the hallway of what I would say is a typical passing period in most large schools. So these kids are shoulder to shoulder. Most of them were not wearing masks.
Nope.
It was
Has that been verified?
what?
That photo?
Yes, it has
this
been
year?
verified.
Okay.
Yes, no, that was verified. No, in fact, this girl took the photo and she put it out on Twitter, and people, started picking up. It went viral. Um, the school ended up, the school suspended her last week because of some rule on the books of using your phone in the hallway or something along those lines. They suspended her, of course, being what I would assume is a savvy, intelligent young woman. Probably took that straight to the media, and the media had a field day with that, because they didn't like their dirty laundry being aired out there. And so her suspension has been lifted, except now that school is currently closed through Wednesday of this week because they've had 9 new cases of COVID-19 show up at the school, and they haven't said if it was students or educators or staff members or whatever. But I mean, 9 cases from people
been
that
both.
didn't have it before. Was it both? Yeah, man. I'm just like, you got to be shitting me, guys. This is not. And that's the reason I'm pissed. The reason I'm pissed off about it is because the people that you're putting in danger are your kids and the people who take care of your kids and teach your kids.
Also, the
That's
students
what
that
pisses
have
me off.
the parents of the students that are like, "Hey, well, little Johnny showed up and he's got COVID. I don't want my kid going to school now because I don't want my kid to catch it." They're turning it. I've heard that they were turning and suspending those students as well.
What,
So
the
they're like,
students
well,
with COVID?
No. The students whose parents said, "Well, my kid's not going to go to school then. If someone so is going to school and they've got COVID, now they're going to spread. I don't want my kid going into that environment."
Well, I don't know. Yeah, and I don't know what Georgia was doing. I don't know if Georgia had I don't know if they had an online option, because that's the one good thing that
Yeah.
that the TEA has done kind of force schools to say you must offer an option of people either going in person or going or doing this online. I think it would honestly. I think that because of this, we're going to see another surge like we did at the end of May and into June. We're going to see another spike because of kids going back to school. Because kids are going to go back to school, they'll get it. They will pass it on to parents, who will pass it on to coworkers, who will pass it on to whatever. Same thing with the teachers. Teachers are going to get it. They'll take it home to their families, so on and so forth. And we're going to see another big spike. All of this could have been avoided. And the big thing with this is no one will know. You can never know if we overreacted. In a situation like this, you'll never know if there was overreaching or if we overreacted. What you will know really damn quick is if you didn't do enough. That's going to be apparent super fast.
Yeah.
So,
anything else for your weekend?
Oh, Jesus. Sorry. I went on a diatribe. Fuck me.
No, I mean, we fed into it. It's all good.
Yeah. The only other thing that I did, and every listener and all the three of you on the pod that are my cohorts and co-hosts, watch Letterkenny. It's on Hulu. It's so damn funny.
The dude that talks that doesn't move his mouth just cracks me up.
Yeah, his name is McMurray. He's great.
I think that'll be the new show that we start watching because we need something new.
So it is. I don't know her sense of humor, but it is highly inappropriate. It's lots of sex and dick and fart jokes.
Is the show still ongoing?
Yeah. They put out their latest season was back in the spring. I think they were supposed to come back sometime in 2020, but of course, COVID has happened. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that's put it on hiatus, but it's really cool because it all takes place in Canada. All of the actors are Canadian, and it's these rural Canadian hicks trying to figure out like the world, but they drink too much, nice, eh? And they smoke too much, and there's so much ridiculous jargon that you'll start saying just allegedly. Because of the show allegedly is one of them. Furta. Hey man, let's go out and hang out. Furta means for the boys. Furta. Let's go Furta. Let's go Furta. But yeah, no, it's like British dry, very dry comedy, but it's like dick and fart jokes, or they've had kind of like those scenes in like Airplane and stuff where it's just like the more ridiculous things keep happening and they just don't ever acknowledge it. They just play it off like everything's normal. It's super funny.
All right. Yeah, I need to start it. The trailer you sent me with when they were playing baseball was the best for me.
Yeah, the only one that's and that's not even till season.
Not 2. Playing baseball. They're just like
they're playing catch.
Playing catch. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's season 2. That's like, but there are only 6 episodes per season, 6 or 7 episodes per season, and they are like half an hour long.
Yeah.
So you can I watched all 8 seasons in a weekend just because I was just hanging out at the house. Also, it was balls hot outside, and I didn't want to go outside.
Balls hot. Is this a Hulu show or is it from another?
It's
network?
It's being put here in the States is being put through Hulu, but I think originally it's through a streaming service in Canada called Crave.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we have Crave down here.
So, yeah, but it's so
I'm thinking of Crackle.
Funny. No, yeah, Crackle. It's called Crave, but it's just so over the top ridiculous. I love it. They talk so much shit. There's a fight almost every episode where they get into a fist fight with a group of people. It's like, what's going on? These guys pissed me off. You want to fight about it? Yes, I do. And then they're swinging.
Okay.
It's just ridiculously funny. So that's my weekend.
All right.
Lane.
I'll go next. Friday didn't really do a whole lot, except watch a bunch of Amazon packages show up.
Nice.
Saturday we went out to dinner. We went to Buca de Beppo, off of 121 over here in Frisco.
Hang on, I'm going to look at my phone and my emails. I didn't get the invite.
You try to speak Italian with them?
No, I did not. No, did not. But we had an awesome time. It was a lot of fun.
How many? Because it's family style. It was just
Yeah. So we went for no. We kind of went for two birthdays. Shannon's birthday on the 28th, and then also her best friend Kelly. Kelly's birthday was, I think, coming up weekend. So we went for both of their birthdays, had a lot of fun, listened to stories that their kids told about Fortnite and Broken Bones and all that stuff. Yeah. So we had fun with that. Sunday was, church online. We had a Zoom call with my sister and my parents later on that evening. That's really about it. Didn't really go out aside from the Italian restaurant, didn't really go out a whole lot.
Was your idiot brother invited to the Zoom call and just doesn't go?
No, he was not
No,
invited
I don't
at
think
all.
he's invited.
Fair enough. I just didn't know if it was if anybody tried to offer that olive branch or whatever.
No, we actually talked about Christmas. We were like, hey, well, Shannon and I did. She was like, do you think he's going to show up for Christmas? And I was like,
Nope.
Me personally, I was like, no, I don't think so. She's like, she's like, I think he will. And I was like,
how do you show up for Christmas when you're not doing anything else with the family?
I don't know. The only thing he does with the family is send Amy and I like political stuff. That's the only thing he does.
Instagram, right?
Yeah, through Instagram or Facebook. But yeah, and it's like, well, all right, dude. But other than that, I had the check engine light come back on. So I emailed my tuner, and he said to check the cam, the cam sensor plugs, because there's oil in them that will cause the check engine light to come on. So I checked those today, and yes, there's oil in every single one of the plugs. There's 4. Oil in all 4 plugs. So I used some electronic cleaner, cleaned that, or sprayed it out, let it dry, reinstalled it. I need to go back down there later tonight and reset the ECU and see if the light comes back on.
That was like at 4:30 in the morning because you were working the rest of the day, right?
Yes. It was 4:30 in the morning. No, I did it at lunch.
He's got a time machine.
And then, other than that, I've got an oil change coming up this weekend. So if the light comes back on, then I'm just going to change the oil on Friday and deal with it then.
Are you changing your own oil, or are you still taking it in?
I'm going to take it in just because I don't have the stuff to do it here.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm just going to take it in.
What oil are you using now?
Modal. Using Modal 8100, the EFE one. Yeah, Modal 8100 EFE. It's got a green sticker thing on there too.
So you take it to go get it done?
X-Clean EFE, yes.
And
so
you just get there, you take your oil and they do it for you? Okay.
I take my oil and my oil filter and they do it for me.
You sit in the car?
No. I just take it to, what's the name shop? Mike's shop.
I drop it off.
At your auto shop? Yeah. I take it down there and they do it. So while I'm taking my car down there, I'm going to say hey, I've got these other 3 parts that you need that I'd like to get installed underneath the car, since you guys have lift and air tools. Shoot me a price. Let me know how much it's going to be. I'll think about installing.
I would probably give them a heads up before you do that.
Already did.
Okay.
Already did. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's part of my industry where one of my guys are scheduled to do something, and then they get, almost said gangbang, they get ganged up on, and then they're like, oh, since you're here, we need you to do this, we need you to do this, we need you to do this, and we're like, no, man, we've only been scheduled to do this, and then we gotta go.
No, I called last week and scheduled my appointment, and then while I was scheduling the appointment, I told the guy who ended up picking up the phone, told him, hey, I've got these other parts I'd like to install too. I'll just bring them. But I figure it's not a bad idea. I'll give them another call just to make sure that they're aware.
Yeah. Because but he's pretty good about doing follow-ups and hey, you're scheduled to do this or whatever.
Yeah. I got an email actually. That's what I was like. Oh, I need to do an oil change. But that was pretty much my weekend.
JT. the man, the myth, the legend. How was your weekend, sir?
Busy.
What'd you do?
Slumlording. Had
More
Javier come
slumlording.
out and try to help me.
Young Javi. Okay.
Yeah, he came out, but it was a little bit above our heads, like literally on the second floor. We were trying to replace some trim, but it was like so rotted out, and it was kind of under the flashing of the roof. So we were kind of like, man, we don't have the right tools to do this, so we're just gonna I'll have to bite the bullet and hire somebody to fix that. Did lunch with the siblings right after that. Some of y'all saw that post. We went to this, it's Calle de Mexico. It's in the gas station next to, or the building next to the gas station at 121 in Josey. The Arctic place or whatever, on the Walmart side. I mean, it's legit, good prices. They even had homemade popsicles, like the guys with the carts have. Bought some of those. It was good food, good price. All that food was like about $50, I think, in that picture.
I love places like that, dude. The gas station places or whatever that have really good food. I love those places. That's why Fuel City in Dallas is so renowned, because their shit's just amazing.
Yeah. And then the rest is hanging out with siblings and just playing games and eating. I mean, I guess for me, food. They always say food is always a good gateway with families and whatnot. And for me, it's true. Our family, most of the memories of my family are just eating or always getting together, and food's always involved. Next weekend, my youngest uncle finally had his first kid.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. And
next weekend he's gonna have his first kid.
No, he'll be a month old, and he'll be bringing him into my grandparents' house.
Gotcha.
And we're finally gonna get to meet him.
How old is your youngest uncle?
I think he's about 3 or 4 years older than me.
Okay. It's so funny. I love families like that, where it's they have kids that are that far apart, where it's my uncle's like my older brother.
Yeah, my youngest aunt, she was a senior when I was a freshman in high school.
It's funny.
I have 2 cousins older than her.
That's great.
I know. There's a funny story my aunt said one time, my oldest cousin. And he's talking about you and so-and-so, they were born in a Malaysian camp because they were part of the boat people or whatever. And they're like, your grandmother also breastfed you too, right? And he's like, oh.
We can undo that, please.
Why would you tell me that?
Why would you tell me that? Yeah.
I forgot what brought it up, but it was just kind of but that's weird. But yeah, I mean, they're
Grandma, I was wondering why that connection we had together.
Yeah. So close.
Nice.
And then today, like I said earlier, it was the first time I've been back to the gym wearing a regular mask, and it was terrible. I mean, it's not
terrible.
I mean, the mask was doing its job, right? It wasn't transmitting much air, but it's just
I'm over here suffocating.
Yeah. Yeah, and then these 2 old guys, octogenarians,
octogenarians.
They're not wearing masks, just doing their thing.
Look that word up. Hey Siri, what does octogenarian mean?
But it was funny because I was kind of, I was lifting the normal weight that I would, which is it's been 3 months, so my arms were a little sore, so I was crumpling a piece of paper and trying to throw it away, and it was way short. I'm like, shit. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Ease into it. But yeah, that was my weekend.
All righty. Scotty Too Hottie, what do you got?
Oh man, so Friday, tried to break a world record. I picked up a part for my dishwasher. Asked my friend who used to work on appliances and then now sells parts for them. I said, what's the typical time for this repair? He said anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. Got it in 17 minutes. I was like, yes.
Okay.
Never
Nice.
seen it before.
Congratulations.
Knocked it out. Yeah, that was
Nice.
accomplished. So I just took the rest of the weekend off as the slumlord. I couldn't help
job.
but think of JT as I was replacing it, thinking, I wonder if these are the kind of repairs he does. But sure he does. Saturday, Rudy's did a little bit of working on the weekend, then took like a 3-hour nap. I rented out a movie theater at Cinnemark Legacy.
Oh, yeah.
We watched The Matrix. There was about 20 of us from church that went, and I would say that movie was 21 years ago. The Matrix,
1999.
that blows me away.
That's when I graduated.
What?
That's when I graduated high school. 99.
Isn't that movie kind of blasphemous because it just says God isn't real?
Actually, we had some people in the theater that were taking notes and comparing the Bible and the movie itself. It has a lot of, we got a lady named Trinity. We've got another ship that's called we got the Nebuchadnezzar, the Oracle, not the Oracle.
There was an article the other day where one of the directors said it was a movie about transformation.
And that they did.
Yeah.
It was weird to
Both
see
of them. Yeah.
At the very end, it said the Wozniak brothers, and I told my sons, like, now it's the Wozniak sisters.
Well, because I think the second one, when the second one came out, one of them had already changed.
Yeah.
And then they changed it to the Wozniaks. And then, I think afterwards it was the sisters.
Wachowskis.
Wachowski, sorry, I can't.
Oh, yeah, Wozniak is Steve.
Steve Wozniak is from Apple.
Yeah, sorry.
The Woz.
Yeah.
That's right.
Wachowskis. I was like, wait, that name's not right. Wait, that name's not right. And I was racking my brain, and then JT said whatever he said, and I was like, nope, no, I know what it is. It's
I was
Wachowski.
close. W-A.
Yeah. Yes, it was. They definitely have transformed, and you know what? Good for them. If that's what takes them to find their happiness, we go around this big ball one time, and
what have they done?
That's they did Speed Racer.
I loved Speed Racer. That was awesome.
Haven't seen it.
They did Speed Racer. They did Something in 1,000 Planets. Something in 1,000 Planets. They've done several that were like
kind of pet
could
projects.
have been they've worked with like big studios on them, but they just didn't have. They've all been kind of sci-fi, but they just didn't have the impact that the Matrix had. I mean, they haven't been horrible, but they haven't been great. You know what I mean?
I feel it's just kind of like because everyone expected so much from them because of the Matrix, and then they get to this, and it's like meh.
Possibly. I think everybody was disappointed with the Matrix sequels. I mean, I was a huge fan. But I thought that the stories could have been. I thought that they gave up instead of having the special effects fit the story. I thought that they were telling a story so they could use cool special effects. So that's what it was. Like, because when Bullet Time came out in '99, when it first happened, but it made sense within the story to do it that way, and it was super cool. And then the rest of the time, in the other two movies, I thought that a lot of what was happening in the story was to kind of showcase the cool special effect, instead of vice versa.
They did V for Vendetta.
Now, that's a great movie.
That is a great movie.
Speed Racer, Cloud Atlas.
Yep.
I never saw that.
Remember that one?
That's a tough one to watch. It was hard to follow.
I don't think I watched that.
Jupiter Ascending.
Yeah.
Never watched that one either.
Was that the one with the
That's the one with
Tatum? Oh yeah, I heard that one.
Tatum
got
and
ripped.
Mila Kunis.
yes.
Yeah.
I love
It
me
was.
some Mila.
I've seen that on like basic cable, and it is not a good movie.
Yeah.
No, yeah. It's
No,
not a good.
wait.
It's not a good movie. I will.
The TV series Sense8,
Okay.
I don't know that movie or that show.
and then Matrix 4.
Okay.
Matrix 4.
Yeah, I was confusing the There's another movie that was out there that was something in the Thousand Planets or whatever. I was confusing that with Jupiter Ascending.
Jupiter Ascending, yeah.
So Sunday, breakfast at Frisco Diner, as every Sunday. If you would like to join me, I'll be there at 7:30 for all our listeners.
Too early.
Too early. And then went to physical
Is it
church.
just you, or is it you and the family?
No,
He just shows
it's
up, just him.
just me. It's really lonely.
We got
No.
your table right here.
Brian Towers, Janelle Black. Those two sit with me today. This weekend we had a guest, Wendy and her 2 kids. So, it's just people at church that I just try to create my little families everywhere, and they're part of it. So, eat breakfast and then go sit in church. And this weekend was full open, kids rooms, everything. So, they've spread out considerable. Like, we used to be packed up and everybody in the front, but they've released a lot of seats up in the back, so there's plenty of space between people. And get to see the kids again. So after church, watched some F1 and was excited about that because as y'all all know, I'm trying to learn a little bit about the sport, and last weekend we had a little difficult time watching it and just got to watch the highlights, and this weekend we got to watch the race. So that was good.
Yeah.
And then came back to the house or office and did some more work. So I'm at 125% workload at work, and I got to find that other time. So that was my weekend.
I remember I'm probably about 90% workload right now, but yeah, I remember when I first started working in IT, and at some point our metric, I was working at 230% workload. And people were like, "What the hell are you doing?" And I was like, I was putting in 12-hour days like every day. And then coming home and doing some more work. And it was like, nope, can't do this anymore.
Nope. So that's what I like about my employer, because now I can actually put overtime on there. So I'm like, well, if we have a meeting that runs till 7 o'clock at night, guess what's going on overtime?
As you should.
That's nice.
Yes. So I am salaried and I can actually do overtime.
Is it overtime? Is it time and a half overtime, or is it just additional on top of your salary? Have you calculated it out?
I have not. I want to say it's time and a half, but I'm not sure.
Because right now I can get overtime with mine, but it would just be like single. It's not like time and a half. It's just additional pay.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'm working on getting that promotion.
To what?
Well, just the next level up, so I can get a free car from work.
Well, how about you? What happened to like bringing in me, and we're going to be the 1-2 punch? Remember that? What happened?
Dude,
what happened? I don't know what happened.
They let a lot of contractors go
because of COVIDs.
Yeah, because of COVIDs, and then also they've reduced the team sizes down to 7 people, and they've been, from what I've heard, they've been real sticklers for the 7 people teams. Like I have some stuff on my plate right now that I actually need somebody from. Well, we're looking at offshore resources to kind of handle 3 things, only because it's like we don't have anybody that knows Visual Basic, we don't have anybody that knows like Node.js, as well as Angular, I think is the last one. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, with that being said, we'll have to have somebody from offshore, but yep, that's what it's looking like right now.
Have you been into the R&D area?
No. Oh, well, yeah, I mean, they gave you a tour of the building, but yeah.
Is it
they don't, listen, they don't tell us anything. Okay, it's hard to get them to tell us anything cool. The last time we had something cool was when they had the TRD Camry and Avalon out in the lobby. And when I was talking to the guys that actually worked on the actual Camry itself, I asked them about the Corolla GR, because that's when the news about it has come out. And the guy, he kind of like, well...
It's like, please, the side. Who told you about that?
He was just kind of like, well, we don't really know anything about that, but if it were to come out, it would look something like this car and have these configurations. I was like, okay, cool. Thanks, man.
So I kind of humor me.
Yeah.
So the R&D area, I mean, is it just a big empty space with like polished concrete, or and I'm just thinking I can just imagine like different phases of prototype parts on vehicles.
So they took us through like the R&D area that we got to see. I mean, you get to see like all the paint, like every single paint sample that's offered.
Mhm.
And they have like swatches like up on the walls, so you can actually, and like you can see it. It's not like in the books where you have like the manual or whatever, and you have like a little bitty square. You can barely see the metallic in it. No, these are like giant, like 6x6 tiles that have the color on it. So it's pretty cool to see that. And then, but I mean, they took us through like the public part of it. We didn't get to see the cool stuff way back behind the scenes.
Yeah,
we didn't get to see any of that stuff.
Because like I don't think I've ever seen a car on that track ever.
No, I haven't seen one yet.
So, just curious, because I remember when I did the tour a long time ago, before they opened up, started bringing employees in, it was like, they're like, oh, they're not going to manufacture anything in the R&D area. So I was like, okay.
No, they don't manufacture anything in the R&D area, but anytime, so like the last car that they brought out there, I want to say was one of the Lexus, like a Lexus LS that they had, and they actually had it out on the track. And there was like a sign-up day where like regular employees could sign up and do a little test lap.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And then one of the perks that we get is like we get to actually see the cars before they hit the showroom floors, which is pretty nice. So the last thing we got to see most recently was like the 2021 Highlander. I don't even think those are in the showrooms yet, but so we got to see those, and they actually had them like in-house. You could walk into, and you could get up in them, sit in them. You can't start the car because obviously we're indoors, but they let you start. They have it plugged in, so you can like start the sound system and infotainment units and all that stuff, and mess around with it. The Highlanders are really nice, really, really nice.
Top 10 movie for me.
There can only be one.
Highlander, yeah.
I am immortal.
That's the only part I know of the song.
It reminds me of Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
What?
Yeah, there's an episode where he makes a Highlander reference.
Okay.
And he jumps off a cliff. He has the sword, as I am immortal, and he jumps off a cliff and dies. Yeah. Good old Aqua Teen. But yeah, so I guess we'll end the first segment here, and
please enjoy these commercials
from your sponsors like Chick-fil-A. They make chicken sandwiches, and they're closed on Sundays. Yeah, Chick-fil-A.
All right, BRB.
Live.
Yeah. So we're back, guys.
And we're back.
Who is that?
Bladders are empty.
Yes. Who is what?
Wait,
and we're back.
It was SNL? It was an SNL skit with it was Jimmy Fallon. They were playing like radio DJs or whatever, and they would always take a break and would come, and as soon as they would come back from break or whatever, it was like, and we're back, like making fun of like crazy morning DJs.
They are crazy, and
we're back here with the latest hits. Yes.
The only thing I can say is, man, I'm glad that I rarely listen to like terrestrial radio anymore, so I don't have to listen to that bullshit.
Here's Casey Kasem.
I like Casey Kasem.
I like Casey Kasem, yeah.
But like just like that dumb morning radio, just
hey guys, how's it going?
Chit chat.
It was such. I mean, and listen, I used to
back with the top hits at 10.
Well, yeah, but like I loved like Russ Martin, and I loved
Russ Martin was awesome.
They were great. But yeah, I
like Jagger also in the morning.
But I stopped listening a long time ago because I found internet radio and I found podcasts, and it was so much better to. It was nice to make my morning drive, which at the time was like an hour. From here in Euless to Frisco, just listening to one complete story or one complete episode or whatever, rather than it's like, you'd have 5 minutes of conversation that was kind of crappy, but it was kind of okay, and then 3 songs you've heard a million times, and then like 20 minutes of commercials.
Yeah, 20 minutes of commercials, then traffic updates and weather updates, and then it's back to like 3 minutes of conversation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm getting stuck on these podcast things. I don't even listen to radio. It's just I can't even keep up with them. It's like I
Yeah.
want to listen to them all, but they're all just an hour long, and I don't drive that much anymore.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was really hard listening to like Joe Rogan
Oh yeah.
because his podcasts were so long,
4 hour
hours,
podcasts.
and it was like it would take me like 2 days to get through a podcast from the drive into work and home. It'd take me 2 days to get through a podcast.
Yeah, I mean,
but
like
they were always super interesting.
Oh yeah, his latest podcast is with what's his name, Post Malone. It was almost 4 hours long. Almost.
I'm talking about for 4 hours.
Dude, listen to him. He talks about anything and everything under the sun. I mean, with certain people that he interviews, they obviously, I think current events is always something that kind of comes up. But with the interviews, whoever he's got on, like if it is like a music star or if it's Kevin Hart or something, they do talk about comedy a lot. They talk about whatever is that person's specialty, that their industry. They talk about that industry and then how they, kind of maybe not so much how they got started in it, but the problems that they see in it. What do you think about this? Hey, Louis C.K. What do you think about him coming back? And
I liked his philosophy, Joe Rogan's philosophy on interviewing people, because he was like, a lot of the people and the celebrities and stuff that he talks to have been coached and trained to talk about stuff for about an hour. They know how to do that kind of long format interview. But once you get past an hour,
it goes off the rails.
They break, it's like, well, finally you can start getting into like what these people actually like and all of that kind of,
who these people
like,
actually are. Yeah.
I think this thing, or I think that thing, or I think whatever. So he's moving.
Yeah.
To Texas. He hasn't said where yet, right?
Yeah,
he's already there.
Oh wow.
Like they're building the new, I saw a
set looks nice. Or
Twitter or something.
Quick.
They were building the new set, and everything.
Yeah, I don't think he's here yet. I do know that they got a place in Austin, and I think that's because On It is in Austin. That's I feel like that's On It is like, hey man, you should come here, and that's why he's in Austin. Plus, that probably fits a little bit more to a California culture than it does.
No state income tax, so he said he was going to save like 17 million or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, he's got
he's
got a giant Spotify deal, doesn't he?
Yeah, he has it's like $100 million Spotify deal coming in. But
there's a lot of comedians that are moving. Like Joe Rogan's moving, Joey Diaz, Theo Vaughn. They're all moving out of California.
Mass exodus.
It's nuts.
Sucks there.
Well, I think a lot of it is because of California's reaction to the pandemic. California was kind of a weird, broken state anyway. I mean, honestly, California should be two states. California should be Northern California and Southern California, because their cultures are entirely different. But you have, they. And I get it a lot, especially for the comedians, because they've shut down all the comedy stores because the comedy places have made the comedy clubs they're all considered bars, because it's it is they traditionally don't serve food, and if they serve because of that that's why they're not allowing them to open, because they've kept bars closed, which I understand that. It's hard for the comedians, and I totally understand that, especially somebody, people that have to get up there and work out their material all the time and gotta figure out how to make a living as a comedian. That's, you've just kind of cut those people short. But, so they've decided to come to Texas, or Joe Rogan has decided to come to Texas. So, I mean, that's great. Austin has a pretty good comedy scene, but Austin is a very weird city.
It's a weird city
because it is a tiny piece of California in the middle of Texas.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's really cool, and I like going there. But I wouldn't want to. It's not a place I necessarily would want to live. I have friends that live there, and they love it down there, but they also don't have any kids. So it'd be it'd be different for me. I love going to visit there. I love going down there for a few days, but
it's cool to visit down there. I mean, now, do you think his reason for moving to Texas is purely because of comedy?
No.
No.
Financial.
No,
he's actually said that.
Okay, so I missed that part of this podcast then. I haven't listened.
Yeah.
So I haven't listened to the episode where he's interviewing, I forget the lady's name, where he mentions that he's moving to Texas.
I saw that. What is it? I forgot her name too.
It's financial, and it's one of those things where I watched like a clip where he talked about why he was wanting to move and everything, and it was because what he says is that California is a broken state. I mean, they have a state income tax, and apparently the way they were gonna try and dig themselves out of the financial hole that was created because of COVID was to tax people at like 54%. And
that's the reason why he said that right there.
And it's, and he's like, it was like retroactive to January of 2020 and shit like that. And it was like, and it's,
who has the money for that?
When you have big celebrities that are living there.
Well, yeah. So yeah, you do have a lot of big celebrities living there, but then you also have like a bunch of people like us.
Well, I'm sure that it's probably staggered to tax brackets or whatever. But when you're Joe Rogan, you're in that highest tax bracket. When you're when you're a celebrity like that, that's and I wouldn't want somebody to get screwed over like that. I mean, that sucks, especially because of what's going on.
He earned it.
Yeah, I think it's weird because Austin is not Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Austin is surrounded by Texas. It's like the Vatican in Italy. It's like it's its own thing. It's its own city state, but it's not.
Yeah.
Austin is a very. I don't even want to say that it's liberal or that it's to this or to that. It's just different than any other city in Texas. I mean, even San Antonio. San Antonio is its own animal. Mm-hmm. Dallas is its own animal. Fort Worth is its own animal. But you can kind of see a through line with all of those cities. They're all Texas cities. And Austin is just this weird alien city that has grown up around itself.
Yeah.
It's not real Texas, but it's
Texas.
But I love it. I mean, it's a fun place to go.
Yeah, no, I like Austin. Yeah, the times I've been, it's been fun to go visit, and we would go just to go drink or float the river, or something like that. But
they have great bars because they actually have bars, and it's not just microbreweries.
No,
that's the thing that I love a good bar, like a good bar with good mixed drinks, and I like beer too. But I mean, if you're going to say we can go and have these amazing cocktails or we can go have these different beers, it's like
then you can go pick up anywhere else.
Yeah.
Go have amazing cocktails.
Yeah. I'm going to go have amazing cocktails. Cocktails. So,
oh wait, that's Sorry.
But it's a really cool, I mean, I don't know, but I think that the comedians are leaving California just because it is.
I mean, they're literally just giving their money away. Yeah.
Well, they're giving their money away. They're stuck out there. There's not a, I think that I can't say this because I'm not in the know in that scene, but I would assume that someone that is as big of a figurehead as Joe Rogan leaving, I think that others
will follow.
Well,
others
see you later.
Yeah, others are gonna follow as well. Well, maybe not, because a lot of comedians and stuff out there are still trying to do like an acting thing or whatever out, in LA, and they need to be kind of out there closer. And Joe Rogan has said unequivocally that he's like, I'm not an actor, and I don't want to be an actor. Joe Rogan he's like, I'm a comedian, and I do commentary for the UFC. That's
Yeah, I'm pretty good at it too.
that's it. I don't do any more. So I think that's what it is. I think it's he can leave like that, but I bet others will leave too. I'm
But
sure
when he does UFC stuff, if it's in Vegas, he still has to pay income tax in that state.
he does.
So yeah, that's like when athletes they play in different cities, they have to pay that state's income tax for whatever game that is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, I'm sure he has people that do that stuff. So I don't
Yeah,
know what
it's kind of a weird deal, right? But yeah,
I don't know what Nevada's state tax situation is like or anything like that. So
but yeah, I
eh,
mean, if he's making money off the podcast and anything else in California, then he's gonna lose. Yeah,
well, and it's not that it's one of those things like everyone's like, oh well, Texas doesn't have an income tax, so blah blah blah. We
our
don't.
property taxes are higher though.
Our
It's
property
gonna get
taxes are
higher.
higher. It's everything else is higher. Our road taxes are higher. Our whatever, it's just you're just paying for it in a small enough way that it doesn't where you don't feel it. You know what I mean? I mean, it was Fort Worth passed they had a vote and they passed a bill or something like that, or a tax increase to help the police force a couple months ago, if a month or so ago, and it was like a half-cent tax on, I don't know what it was. It was a 0.5 cent tax. Well, you don't really feel half of a cent, but you will feel it over a long period of time if you're watching it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So,
Gotcha.
but that's what we do, and that's why it makes sense to, it's like, yeah, we're not, the federal government taxes you, state government doesn't. Well, they do. It's just in a different way where you don't notice it. You don't have to cut a check at the end of the year, at one
Right.
particular time of the year.
Yeah. So do you think that like with all the, and it's not just comedians, but I mean, if you look at all the major, companies that have had their headquarters relocated to Texas, do you think that's in a way kind of screwing our housing market for us that are here in Texas already, that have been here in Texas?
I know your company did that to the Frisco area.
Yep. They moved to Plano.
Yeah. Yes. Yes and no. It depends on where you are. So it will hit different area. I mean, the property, in a large metropolitan area like DFW, yes. And the more corporations that relocate here, they're either national or international headquarters here. Yes, that is exactly what's going to happen. It will drive up the market, but it's not driving up the market in like places like, Odessa or Lubbock or, Dublin, Texas. They're not getting hit with that shit.
Ooh,
It's a
Dr.
different,
Pepper.
yeah. But it's just a different, it's where that company decided to go because they know they're
Right.
going to have a bunch of people there, and they're going to have to, and those people
Easy
are going to
access
want
to
to
the highway
live
system and
easy access to the highway system coming in. Also, the people that you're bringing there, it's a world headquarters. So those are the people that are making the big cheddar chinga. So yeah, of course that property is going to go up.
yeah.
So, when you have people, the people that are trying to live in those areas are not the people that are making, $11, $12 an hour. Those are
Right,
the people that are making close to six figures, if not more, to move into those areas.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I don't know.
No,
I'm not a
no,
scientist.
Yeah, I'm not a scientist either. Just, I mean, I noticed that with property tax, I don't really notice property taxes so much, but I notice that like looking at houses, everything is slowly getting more expensive. And so, I mean, I think personally, I think my plan to still for us, Shannon and I, to buy a house next year is still going to be on track. I need her to make some changes real quick so that we can actually do this plan that I have in place. But yeah.
Plans.
Yes. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Because now after that, it's going to be about where to go move and, keeping an eye on property tax at that point, and making sure that we don't get to the point, making sure that we don't put ourselves in a position to where we end up needing to move because the property tax has been, the property value has gone up so much, which is a good thing, but the property value has gone up so much that it's raised our mortgage to the point to where it's like, well,
Yeah, we fight it every year.
yeah,
No, you can't. No, whoops. Stop.
yeah.
No, we've had. We'll see what 2020 brings, but I probably won't. I'll probably be fighting this year because it's gotten to the point to where I don't want to do it. But the value of my property has increased. It's doubled since I bought the house 5 years ago.
Oh,
No,
wow.
7 years ago.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I got very lucky and I bought a house for little because it's an older home in an area that had a lot of growth.
Right.
So, I just got lucky with all of that. But
Okay. All right.
Y'all ready?
Yes.
Yes.
trailer time.
All right, guys. Another Netflix. I'm sorry, Amazon
In a
Prime
different
video.
part of the country, trailer time would be bad.
Mm.
Do you guys want to hit this family style?
Family style.
Squeal like a pig.
Family style.
All right, so I got into season 1 of The Boys. I don't know if y'all did, but it is an adult superhero, very adult superhero series. But yeah, here
I
we
got
go.
the first issue, baby.
Yeah.
Issue number 1.
This will be another show that Shannon and I can watch. Okay.
Here we
Again,
go.
this is very adult.
Yeah, I don't think she'd be into it.
My wife. She's alive.
This guy right there.
Ford's holding the captive somewhere. And right now, we're in a little bit of trouble. Are you fucking with us? Listen, this is a fucking mess. We're the most wanted lads in the country. We got soup terrorists.
Is that the comic store?
And we got no superheroes.
Hi! I'm Stormfront.
Oh.
I'm the new girl.
Wonderful.
So what's your big plan?
We'll take them boy. There we go. And I get my wife back.
We're in. Of course we're in.
We blow it up in the air.
Hey,
What's that?
the main character, the guy with the hair and the beard.
Oh yeah, that's Bones.
These maniacs could be waiting for their chance to kill us all.
That's a Judge Dredd.
Yep.
Terrible movie.
Who the fuck are you?
I'm just trying to help.
Really? How?
We are in a war, but we can fight back.
Hey, that's the girl from You're the Worst, right?
Supermen, millions
Oh.
strong.
Maybe I have to get another look at it.
Now, don't be a pussy. Laser my fucking tits.
1, 2, 3, hit it!
She's got a whole army of soups.
We gotta stop it. Ouch.
Need more soup!
I want that superpower.
Yeah.
You can't just kill everyone.
That's exactly what we're gonna do.
Oh, great. Cool. Totally.
1, 2, 3, hit it! We just need to keep our shit together a little bit longer.
Yeah, you guys go ahead. You guys go ahead. I'm good.
All right, hands in the air. Like you just don't care. Kill.
September 4th. Oh,
Okay.
you know what I'll be starting?
Yeah, I'm gonna need to rewatch season 1.
Yeah, I am too, just to get back into it. But yeah, it is a very adult thing. Each one of those soups has an issue, and the Captain America guy, I forget his name. It's been a while, but man, that guy.
Yeah.
And Aquaman is a little perv.
Oh yeah, it's disturbing in some cases, but I read the comic books and they were worse. I can't wait to see how they're gonna do season 2, because at the spoiler for the end of season 1 kind of
had time.
It undid the comic.
Oh, did it?
Oh yeah, it undid. I mean, there's still a ton of story to tell, but like the ending of the
He's from
comic,
the loft.
like the big reveal from the comic is like it can't happen.
Carl Urban, that's the guy I was talking about. He's from the loft. Yeah, that was
Carl.
I knew it. I was looking at him. I was like, I've seen his face before. I can't think of what movie.
I was gonna say Keith Urban, but I knew it was wrong.
Also, the Born Supremacy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I knew he looked familiar. Okay,
A Dr. Jim.
I have to watch this. Yeah, and Star Trek. Yeah.
I am the law. No, he didn't say that line. That was
So, Justin, you read the comic books. How
Yes.
many, how long has that been running? Does it still run?
No, it finished years ago.
Okay.
I can't remember who put it out. It was, I think it was
Two
either
guys.
Dynamite or Top Cow. So it was one of those real indie comics. But yeah, it ended years ago. But I liked it because it was really, I mean, you can see by what they've done with the show, like it was really raw, especially for like 10, 12 years ago. You know what I mean? It was like, holy shit, I can't believe they're doing this.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it.
No,
It's
it was
September
really
4th,
cool.
guys.
Definitely. No, I'm in.
Yeah, I'll have to watch it. Yeah, he was
Yeah,
also in
before-
Doom.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't remember
Again,
that.
dude, I don't know
He was the
Shannon
main
style.
He was the main guy. Yeah, I don't know if she'll enjoy it. I don't know. We'll see.
Pick up the
Yeah.
truck.
But in Doom, he was. I guess he was the patient zero that didn't get affected by the virus or whatever, and he was the one that ended up going and like killing everybody. And
He was-
saving. He was Adam.
He was not the Rock.
He was not the Rock. Yeah,
Not the Rock.
the Rock was affected, but in a negative way because he became cocky, overzealous, and was like, oh no, you guys are going to do what I want because I said so.
He became the Rock.
No.
No, he became the Rock.
Oh, yeah.
Overzealous. It's a joke.
Gotcha.
You become the Rock Obama.
Yeah, that was a good SNL skit.
Yeah.
If y'all want
Obama.
to catch up on season 1 and then have a watch party on episode 1, season 2, I'm interested in that.
I'm down.
I think this weekend we've got Hamilton watch party. If y'all are still down with that,
On Sunday, right?
Sunday
Yeah.
evening.
Okay.
I'm in.
Do we have anything else? You want to go with a question, or we got?
Let's go with the question.
Yeah, I don't have anything
Unless-
else, so
yeah.
feel free.
Wait,
bored
I got
JT.
something.
Okay.
You got
got
something?
JT.
What you got?
Sturgis.
Oh, the bike rally.
Yeah, the motorcycle
Yeah.
rally, South Dakota.
Can't
that
tell us
happened.
what to do.
Is it happened or it's happening?
Or maybe it's happening. Let me look it up. But so apparently most of the townies voted against it, even though it brings in a lot of
Money.
income.
Mhm.
But you got thousands and thousands of people coming in, and you can't guarantee they're all going to wear masks or be socially responsible.
Social distancing.
Aren't bars closed?
I don't know about South Dakota.
Ah.
I don't know what they're doing there. No, it's going to be.
Opposed by 60% of the locals.
But it's one of those things where it's like that town makes like all of their revenue in a 2-week span.
Yeah.
It's like a 1 or 2 week span. People showing up early and people, in a 2-week span. I can't imagine having something like that at whatever. And yeah, I don't know what to say about the locals.
It's my understanding if you got a Harley between your legs, you're COVID protected.
Is that what it
Oh.
is?
Yeah,
We need to go get Harleys then. Come on.
I
what
think
are we
if
doing?
JT got to the rest of the story, that was down at the bottom.
Girls can't get pregnant when they're on top, right? It's just gravity.
Yeah.
gravity. Actually, that guarantees you boys if she's riding. If you're on top, then that gets you girls.
Okay.
So
I tried it out. It works.
7,000 residents, but the event usually brings 500,000 people.
500,000 people times what? How much are you going to spend?
And this is the 75th anniversary.
Oh, you can't deny it on a 75. I mean, 76 we can get away with that, but 74.
They started coming in last week.
Yeah, it's gonna be a clusterfuck. And the thing that's, I mean, it's not. You have 7,000 people that live there. Their population increases by 10,000 times in a matter of days.
Yeah,
and they're there for 2 weeks and then they leave. And I mean, I don't know what it will do to the residents of Sturgis, as far as an infection rate within that time frame.
Wear your mask if you're local.
Yeah,
well, but there's a couple from California. They're like, "Oh, I'm not worried about it at all. It's refreshing to come out here and not have to worry about wearing a mask."
Well, that's the whole thing, is that you don't understand how this works, and you're going to have a ton of people that are around and they're not wearing masks, and they're going to be a lot of more positive cases, and it's then going to spread throughout the country wherever those people that went into Sturgis, came from. And a lot of the people, and they
deserve to die and go to hell.
I'm not going to say that. A lot of the
JT.
A lot of they burn in hell. That's a
lot of the people. It's really funny to me, like the people that are into like Harleys and stuff like that. A lot of them, it's almost like cosplay for them, where it's like every weekend they have their Harley, and he's actually a dentist or a pharmacist, but every weekend he puts on his jeans and his leather chaps, and he puts on his leather vest and his sleeveless shirt, and he hits the damn road. And it's so funny to me, because that's the people that are going to be getting, it's not that I'm not, it's not like this weird 1%er club.
I don't know, Justin. Like I'm thinking you're just a leather vest and some assless chaps away from riding a Harley. I'm just playing. I didn't know who to call out on that one.
No, you're fine to call me out. I don't care.
Also,
the point with that is that people are like, assless chaps. All chaps are assless. That's how they're made. Why do I know that? Because my dad was a cowboy, so I know what chaps do. They don't have an ass in them.
But it's not funny if you don't say assless.
Oh, I understand. I'm explaining it so it stops being funny.
Those are my Saturday nights, I'm just saying.
Sleeveless pants.
Sleeveless pants. It's actually extra sleeves for your pants is what chaps are.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's funny to me, because it's going to be these guys who are, lawyers, or, IT guys. Every place I've ever worked has, and it's usually an older guy in his like mid to late 50s who's decided
midlife crisis,
kind of midlife crisis, but just start getting into riding bikes or whatever, and then and then they're out there forever, and it's like, oh, we're going to Sturgis, or we're going to this other bike rally, or we're going on
Wild
this
Hogs.
ride. Yeah, very much Wild Hogs, that horrible Tim Allen movie.
Yeah.
But like, these are the dudes, the people that are going to get the coronavirus are not necessarily like these 1%er, like actual, what you think of as like a biker. It's going to be these dumbasses who are, who drive their, $60,000 F-350 dually with their RV, their fifth wheel RV on the back that holds their bikes, and they hang out 10 miles outside of town and then run it, and then ride 10 miles into town.
There we are, folks.
Yeah. Is that a live view?
Live view day 4.
Oh my gosh.
This is just
There's a bunch of bikes there.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. I mean that's where it is always. I mean that's how it looks all the damn time. Or for these 2 weeks a year. I'm surprised that it's not. I think this weekend is supposed to be like the busiest weekend. But yeah, right now they're probably all in bars and stuff.
No masks.
Nope. Look at it. No masks.
Okay. Well, we'll see how it turns out.
Hey, we got protesting going on too, so no masks there.
I've seen lots of masks.
I've seen lots of them, but I've seen lots of not masks. Well, they're also hiding their identity. So
that's the other thing. Well, that's the other thing, especially if you're going to be a biker. If you really, I mean, that's shit, dude. I'm all for wearing a mask. You can't facial recognition me. You don't know who I is.
So I found a way because I've been complaining about my Face ID when I'm using my phone. Try to do the Apple Pay at the quick restaurants and stuff. There's a way that you set half your mask and half your face, and then you do your scans, and it works.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I haven't figured that one out. Hey, I got something for y'all guys. Did y'all see what the Chicago mayor said today?
I have not. Please inform.
She said, I don't know if y'all know, but there's I would say riots because there's a lot of damage. There was a mall that was broken into and just devastated. I'm not sure the day, but since they can't control that area, Trump is sending in federal. Who are they called?
Federal officers.
Federal officers, and she said that that if she is getting ready to, let me pull up the video. She said that she was getting ready that if they send them, they're going to stop them.
The only thing I can say is this is where we get into. I find these things and these conversations very interesting because this is where you get into actual states' rights versus federal rights and national rights. So I'll be interested to see how that plays out. I think that the mayor of Chicago, is well within her right to try and protect her city. I don't think that they're having the same issue that was going on in Seattle, which when they were protecting when federal officers were protecting the federal courthouse in Seattle, I have no problem with that. And the reason that I have no problem with that is because any normal period of time, a local law enforcement officer cannot carry their firearm into a federal courthouse. So my buddy is a police officer, and if he had to go to federal court as an officer, he has to remove his gun because he's not under jurisdiction within that federal courthouse. So that makes sense to me. But having someone go in to do the work of the police that that should already be doing it, I don't know. Let's hear what she says.
I haven't watched this particular video.
Illinois House GOP leader Jim Durkin is calling for the National Guard and any federal help to help Chicago. Despite your misgivings and tussles with President Trump, should Chicago take him up on his offer for additional federal resources?
Well, first of all, you asked many layers of questions. I've been in contact with the governor. He and I spoke early this morning so that I could brief him on what happened. Both of us believe this is not an incident that requires the National Guard. In the event that we need additional resources, we will. We work hand in glove and well with the state police. They were with us last night. Those additional resources are available. We're not going to spare resources if we need them, but we want to make sure that we're prudent in the resources that we need. And again, no, we do not need federal troops in Chicago, period, full stop. I'm sure the president will have his way with this incident, but I'm calling upon him to do the things that we do need. We need common sense gun control. We cannot continue to have circumstances where anybody and their brother can go across the border or in other parts of Illinois and bring illegal guns into the city of Chicago. That is something that the federal government is uniquely qualified to handle, and we need the president to step up and do that. We need to make sure that ATF has adequate resources to actually do checks on gun dealers who are selling guns to straw purchasers and make sure that we hold them accountable. Again, strengthening the laws so that we can do effective oversight around federally licensed gun dealers. We need that help from the federal government. I've asked for that repeatedly. I've never heard an answer from the president or any of his people. So if he wants to help, do the things that the federal government is uniquely positioned to do. Don't rattle the saber, don't make threats, actually act in a way that will provide real safety to our cities. That's what we need.
Yes.
So, I kind of got a thing with that is the people who they are putting gun control laws on aren't the people that have the issues in Chicago with guns, bringing illegal guns or whatever she was saying, selling illegal guns. That is, I hate to say gang members for lack of a better word, but those people who are going to get guns have having the laws in place or whatever, they're going to do what they want to do, period. But I will say that I also do believe that the gun laws probably should be a little bit of, re-massaged. I don't know how. I think it is kind of but who decides that, Who decides that if a mentally ill person, that's, I can see that where I was going with that. So I don't know. Go ahead.
So it's one of those things. So the gun laws that she is talking about are specific to the city of Chicago. The city has made specific laws about guns and who can have guns and what, so on and so forth within their city. That, in my opinion, is absolutely fine to do. If you don't like it, don't move there. If you were already there and owned guns, you should be grandfathered in. But any new purchases or whatever, so if they said, oh, well, we're not selling AR-15s within the city limits of Chicago, or it is now illegal to own an AR-15 within the city limits of Chicago unless you were grandfathered in or something along those lines, sure, that's how government works. That's what they do. I mean, we've all seen old Westerns and stuff where people, cowboys ride into town and they're met at the fucking, edge of town by the sheriff, and they're told they got to turn in their guns if they're going into town. That's how that shit works. And if you don't like it, there's plenty of other places to move. You move to Texas, you move anywhere else you want to. I understand. But I think that I'm all for responsible gun ownership and updating gun laws to protect people. I think that's great. One of the things I think that everyone who wants to change a gun law should do is learn about guns and learn about what guns actually do and what the actual nomenclature of guns are, because there are people that are talking about, they hear something called an assault rifle and what they're thinking of is an automatic weapon. Those are two very different things. So you need to educate yourselves on, or you need to be educated before you start talking about wanting to change stuff around in those regards. I'm a gun owner. I'm a proud gun owner. I don't leave my house, especially in these crazy days of COVID and all the insanity that's going on. I don't leave my house without
my piece.
Carrying a weapon.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm strapped always.
When you turn it sideways.
So,
damn right.
So going back to the gang violence that they have in Chicago, do you think that these gun laws would affect those people?
I think those gun laws will affect those people in the fact that once they are caught and prosecuted, they will have the book thrown at them. And that's the thing. I mean, if
that was the case, wouldn't they be having the book thrown at them right now? Because it's, again, I mean,
I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know enough about the situation in Chicago to
Fair enough.
speak super intelligently on it. I don't know why a certain, because it's not just the city of Chicago, it's a certain area of Chicago that is having all of these issues. I don't know enough about what's happening in those areas to give an intelligent answer on that, because I don't live there and I don't know what it is. I would think that any laws that were passed, if someone who was caught with an illegal gun in Chicago committing that crime, and the book is thrown at them, it would be something. But it's also one of those things where I think that they have so many murders that they can't, it's hard to find people, you know, or it's hard to find the people who acted on this stuff. And I think that's what one of the hard things is. I mean, we've all watched, you know, cop shows, and we've all watched like the First 48 and stuff like that, where someone was shot and killed, and, you know, it's unfortunate, but I mean, there's a lot of people out there who were shot and killed in drive-bys or gang violence or so on and so forth, and their killers have not been brought to justice. So, you know, the laws are being made to stop the inflow of weapons, and also to stiffen the penalties for those who have broken the law. But what that takes is being able to catch those people who have broken the law. You know, police.
Alan, JT, what do y'all think?
I don't have any guns. I'd like to own one, but
I think you should own one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were talking, Justin, about need to know the nomenclature. Mm-hmm. AR does not mean assault rifle. It means armor light rifle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was one of the things you see quite a bit. That I think that's a misleading there.
Well, it's an Armalite rifle, or it's an Armalite style rifle, because Armalite is a company.
Right.
AR, yeah, but it's what they're considering it an assault rifle versus a hunting rifle. And the only thing that's different on an assault rifle versus a hunting rifle is wood furniture that's on the gun. So a wood stock and a wood fore end. That's the difference. It's a different stock and it's a different fore end. Everything else that's what makes it assault style, is the furniture
versus a rifle.
Yeah, versus a hunting rifle. That and the fact
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that and the fact that they're usually magazine fed.
Yeah.
So whereas a lot of hunting rifles are going to be lever action. Usually they're magazine fed, and then if you want to get into larger calibers, then they're going to be bolt action.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's what it is. So it's not a. But I've had people tell me, it's like, oh, we should ban all assault rifle or all assault style rifles. If it's not for hunting, it's not good. And it's like, those do the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is
what
one
about
has
the
wood on it
rounds?
and not.
Armor piercing rounds. Should civilians have armor piercing rounds or hollow points?
For personal protection, yes.
I don't have a problem with either of those things. Usually because you're not going to have a gun large enough to do real damage with a quote armor piercing round. Body armor, if you're talking about body armor, most body armor, like level 3A, only protects up to handgun rounds. So if there's a police officer who is wearing soft body armor without a plate inside of it, if somebody comes at them with a rifle, it's going to go through that body armor. I mean, that's just what it is.
Yep.
As far as hollow point ammunition, the only what a hollow point does is mushroom on impact. So it makes a larger wound track in the body. It also stops it. It also stops once it hits an object. Once that hollow point hits an object and it compresses and mushrooms out, it loses a lot of velocity. So it's one of those things where if it hits something, it's less likely to go through one person and into another person.
Yeah.
It'll cause more damage in that one person.
It will definitely cause more damage in that one person. Absolutely. That's what they were designed to do.
Yeah.
I
burn down a building like the DFW gun range. The dude was using hollow point and something caught on fire and the building burned down.
Oh, is that there that was like about 10 years ago or so?
Yeah. Or no, it was tracer rounds. Sorry.
Ah.
But still, so you're not supposed to use it, and then you did.
Gotcha. Well, a tracer round is completely different than something that's armor piercing. I mean, that stuff's covered in phosphorus, so it burns, bright as day, so you can see it going down range.
Seen a couple of gun ranges burn up because of those. You're not supposed to shoot those inside, and I've seen it twice.
Yeah. Well, right.
Scott, yeah. So, Scott, before we close, you said you had a question.
So today's question is, what would be your strategy for a zombie apocalypse?
Why do you think I still have the truck?
Did we just beat you down, Alan?
No.
I heard a
Well, I don't have any guns, so you'd just be like, well, I'm going to stay inside, wait out the neighbors, and wait till they decide to venture out. And...
So, what is your idea of a zombie? Are they slow? Are they fast?
Not that World War Z stuff.
Superhuman strength?
No.
I'm going to go with
like Walking Dead style.
Walking Dead style.
Walking Dead style.
I want to give you a little chance.
Yeah, they see you. They're going to speed up a little bit, but they're not like World War Z where they're crawling over each other like ants.
I would hate for that.
But they're still stronger than a normal human, though, right?
No.
They just have numbers. That's the only thing that was the thing in Walking Dead is you would just get
and
swarmed.
World War Z. They just have numbers.
World War Z.
Well, they were also like the Usain Bolts of zombies in World War Z. But...
Well, yeah, I highly recommend you reading the book and instead of the movie. The book is so much better.
Well, the books are always so much better. Yeah.
Well, but it's not even told. Like the story isn't the same. So the story
the story is fictionalization.
The story is from 3 different viewpoints, isn't correct?
Every chapter is a different.
Every chapter, okay, yeah.
It's like every chapter is a different story. So,
and I Am Legend. I heard the book was good too.
Max Brooks,
Mel Brooks' son.
Yes,
that is such a trip.
Yeah,
but yeah. And what would you say, JT? Which one was that?
I Am Legend.
I love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Love that movie.
Oh, speaking of, Mel Brooks passed away last week.
What?
No, Rob Reiner passed away.
Oh, Rob Reiner was a while ago, wasn't it?
Like a week or two.
All right.
Carl Reiner, not Rob Reiner. I'm sorry, Carl Reiner. Rob Reiner is his son.
The elder, yes.
The elder. Mel Brooks. Doing a little fact checking here.
He's still alive.
Snopes.com.
He's still alive?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. It was Reiner. Reiner is the one that passed away.
Yeah.
And Jerry's dad in Seinfeld. He just recently passed away too. Some old people. Oh, and
Jerry Stiller.
Regis Philbin.
Yeah, Regis
died. I'm a little sad about that.
No way.
Reach.
I didn't know that.
Greatest working man in television.
Hey, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go clean out a mall and bar the windows and invite people in to live with me and create a little community in there. That's my strategy.
Wasn't that the premise of Day of the Dead?
Was it? That was not. I have not seen it.
Yeah, I think so.
Zombieland 2. I think they stayed in the mall. That was so funny. That chick was so stupid.
Oh, I haven't seen that one yet.
Never
I've
saw
seen
the second
Zombieland, but I haven't seen the second one.
Let's
see. For me, I'm grabbing my go bag, grabbing my family's go bags. We have checkpoint places where we're supposed to meet. So
it's just kind of sad that like none of us are depending on the government to do the right thing.
No, I don't think it's sad at all.
Any other time.
They never do the right thing. or when they do it's way too late. Like, guys, we've already got it taken care of.
Like right now.
Yeah, now you're just in play.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I learned that lesson with Hurricane Katrina and Hurricane Rita.
Mm-hmm.
I saw
You know
it
what?
happen.
I would do kind of like, remember Treehouse of Horror when Homer had the hammock that would clone himself, and then the way to get rid of himself was to have like a donut truck or something drive towards a cliff, and all the Homers fell off and died.
All the Homers.
I would do something like that with the super collider pit we got, in Texas. I'm sure that would swallow up a bunch of zombies.
Just let the zombies live out their days in a pit.
Yeah.
No, I'm grabbing guns and grabbing go bags and
I'm looking for solutions.
hitting the
guys.
road.
You're looking for solutions.
I would probably go to. Let's see. I would probably go to
Nearest Buc-ee's.
a vet's office, like a vet clinic, to get antibiotics and medication and stuff
food.
like that.
Yeah.
Yes, also dog food. And I would
Milk-bone biscuits.
And then it depends on if I need to bug in or bug out.
Tons of milk bones.
Do I need to stay here or do I need to move out? So I don't know. That'd be.
Do you think? So I was just when you were saying you're just gonna drive, like currency. Think currency would still work?
No, I think currency would end up being like the Book of Eli, where it turns into like
bartering.
It's like bartering. Like, oh, I've got these those wet wipes, and I've got the Zippo lighter that's still good. Like, oh, I got cologne. No way.
Turn tricks.
It would turn into that.
Yeah, no, I think it would. I think currency would work for a little while. Yeah. And then once it didn't, then it's
once you realize the banks fail.
It's going to
I
be.
don't remember. Did we
talk
like about cash recently?
Cashless system.
Well, because like they're talking about how like they need more people to turn in coins because like nobody's using coins and cash really during this COVID time, and so they're like, oh yeah, certain banks and whatnot, if you like turn in like a roll of pennies, they'll like give you an incentive for bringing in, because apparently the government or somebody needs more coins for some reason.
Well, we've just kind of stopped the flow of coins moving. I mean,
circulation.
Yeah, we haven't. We've stopped that circulation of coins because when did you use coins? I mean, I haven't. If I ever had spent cash and had change, as soon as I spent cash and had change, as soon as I got home, it goes into a little bank that we have at the house. But yeah, I never mess with it.
The tollways started doing
these are my coins.
No payments.
This is my coins. This is where the coin goes, right here. Party money. That's where the coins go.
Small party, my friend.
Well, no, I mean there's
party for one.
20. There's a bunch of.
Yeah. I know where you hide your monies now, son.
There's like a stack of 20s in there. So.
What?
But
and a bottle of lotion and
no, calm down, JT. But that's where all my coins go because like the majority of people, I can't remember the last time I actually paid for something with. Like when I go to the gas station, I can't remember the last time I actually had to go, oh, let me go and prepay. Let me give this guy the 20, and then that way he can start the pump. And I just use my.
I keep cash. I usually have about $100 on me in cash, just because. Yeah. Just because, and then in like my work bag, I also have like kind of stowed away an emergency $50.
Yeah, I remember something I read a long time ago when I was younger. I want to say like college. I read something about just like an emergency, keep a $20 bill inside like your phone case. Because the one time, hey, you're out somewhere, you don't have your wallet, you at least have $20. Maybe get you, hey, I'll give you
contactless payment
down to the next gas station or whatever.
Tap to pay.
Tap to pay.
The last time I used cash was at the golf course. Tip the girl.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was gonna say pay off somebody that you lost to.
Yeah, that was like I was watching The Last Dance. He's like $57,000 check to a dude.
Hey, that was a good series. Six in. That was it. I would say that. Did you finish it, JT?
Yeah.
Sorry, Squirrel. Change the subject.
And then last year, or that last 2 episodes, I felt it jumped way too much. Back and
Yeah,
forth.
I kind of understand how they do it now. So they bring you to, you know, what the whole story is 1998, and then whatever game they're at or whatever situation, they go back in time to kind of bring you back up to speed. So I kind of got the rhythm of what they were trying to do. But it's funny. It's The Last Dance, but it should have been called the Michael Jordan Show, and then with special guests, you know, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, because even the episodes that covered Scottie Pippen, I felt like it was almost more Michael Jordan on that episode, and the same thing with Dennis Rodman. But
yeah, and I kind of feel that the numbering, they use Roman letters, is kind of, I felt that was kind of a riff on, because that's how his shoes are numbered.
Oh, are they?
Roman letters, yeah.
Roman numbers, you mean?
Roman, what did I say?
Letters.
Oh, they're letters too.
They're kind of letters. Capital I, capital
Roman,
E, capital
Roman
X.
numerals.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Anything else, guys?
No, man. I say we call it
dinner time.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to email us at theweekend@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook at A2Z as well as YouTube. You can go to anchor.fm/A2Z Weekend, where you will find all 11 locations for our podcast. So,
all right, guys. We'll see you on the
feel free,
flip flop.
friends. Pow pow.
All right, olive juice.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.